morning and welcome to Transformation Thursday. It is Coach Tam, Chief Visionary Officer of 265 Point Total Fitness, and I am back with part 3 of the Getting Unstuck series. For those of you that are just joining us, this series is designed to help the individual that is in that place that they desperately don't want to be, a person that's feeling stuck in their health, in their finances, in their career, maybe towards a personal goal that you have, like writing a book. I am walking you through the steps that will get you on the other side and on to smashing that goal. In step number 1, we talked about the fact that before we can do anything, we have to make a different decision. We have to decide that where we are, we don't like it, and we are getting out of here. No more. I'm done with this. I am moving on with with my best life. And then number 2, after we've made this decision, it's not enough just to say this. We actually have to commit to a plan. We have to come up with a plan that aligns with that goal. And the way that I approach this is it's always 3-pronged. There's a spiritual aspect, there's a mind transformation aspect, and then there's a training aspect, doing the work to get the results. Now we're at the 3rd stage of the process. And this step would be one that's really, really easy to overlook. As a matter of fact, when I talk to people, this is a step that they're often afraid of and want to avoid. So what is this step that you may ask? Step number 3 in the process, family, is to create accountability. Now, even as I say that word, I'm guessing that as you're hearing the word accountability, you may not have a positive view of it. And I can understand that because accountability can be scary. But I want you to know that accountability is actually the fastest path to results. Let me give you a few examples of this. I want you to go back with me in time, right? Let's go back to grade school, right? When you were in school, tell me something. How much would you have studied? How much would you have applied yourself if there were no quizzes, if there were no tests? Right? I'm going to be honest. If it were me, I wouldn't have invested a lot of time there because it's really easy to go to school and sit there and listen to the teacher and pretend to take some notes, right? But if there is no accountability, if there is no requirement to demonstrate that you learned the material in the form of quizzes and tests, then there's no incentive to study and to really take in the information. Let me give you a more up-to-date example, right? So when you get a job, you may go into that job thinking that it's really going to be what you want, really going to be what you need. And then as you get further into the job, you may realize, this is not quite what I thought it was. I'm not super excited about it. You may even think, okay, I need to get out of here, right? But most people don't just quit that job. Normally, they find another job first. Why do they do that? They do that because they know that this job provides a bridge to something that they want. They don't just start calling out and not showing up on a regular basis because they know if they do that, they could lose that job, that source of income that they have before they have something else in place. And think about even on that job, right? When you're not feeling it, it would be really easy to not do your best and not do the work, right? But we know in our heart of hearts that if we don't do what is expected of us, we won't be able to keep that job. So accountability is actually what keeps us in the game and gets results. The other thing that I want you to understand about accountability is its purpose. Its purpose is not to call you out. It is not to make you feel bad. It is not to have you feeling like you don't measure up. That is not the purpose of accountability. That is what the junk in our brain will tell us, but that is not its purpose. The purpose of external accountability is to instill internal accountability. So the whole goal of this, I want you to think about this, having someone to hold you accountable is to get you to a point where you are able to hold yourself accountable in this, right? So now that we understand the role of accountability to keep you in the game when you'd rather quit, and your emotions and your thoughts are running away with how this isn't working and it's not going to work out, accountability actually jars you and says, no, 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 we need to stay focused. We need to stay in this. And if you have the right form of external accountability, it's going to help you move forward faster. All right. So before you get going, create accountability. Now, I want to talk about 3 common methods of creating accountability and their effectiveness. And I want to start with what I see as least effective and then move my way up. Okay, so these are things that I see. So number 1, especially in social media land, this is really, really popular, is when we make a decision, like we're going to lose weight and get in shape, or we're, starting this entrepreneurial journey or whatever it is, it's really easy to post something online and say, this is what I'm doing. Right. And when we do that, we're going to instantly get, because of the culture of social media, which is awesome, we're going to instantly get likes and comments. We're going to get encouragement. Yes, you can do this. Awesome. Can't wait to see what God does through you. We're going to get all that great stuff. And that's awesome. Here's the problem. None of those people that like or comment are going to ask you about your progress towards your goal. Right. They will be there in the moment, but they are not a true accountability partner. So this method only works for the individual that is truly motivated by what those people in social media land say about them, and how they are perceived. And the reality is there's so much noise in social media that most people can't keep up, so they won't know. So they won't ask you. And so when you get into a rough patch, or even when things are going well and you just want to maintain that momentum, no one is asking you. No one is helping you to celebrate the results that you're getting, and no one is challenging you to think about the future and how to move past it. Okay, so while it feels good, in my view, that's not your most effective option. Not if you want to get unstuck faster. All right, number 2 is getting a friend, family member, or coworker to be an accountability partner. So especially in the wellness space, right? We know other people that are struggling in this area. And so it's often not hard to find someone else that says, hey, I need to do that too. And you make a decision to partner together to work on this goal, right? So on one level, it's great because you have a person, someone that knows that you have made this commitment. But here's the problem, all right? If this person knows you and knows you really well, they have something to lose by holding you accountable, right? So let's take a husband and wife relationship, because I hear this one often, right? If they ask you about your progress on something, they risk their relationship with you being impacted by them holding you accountable. And so sometimes people just don't ask the question because they don't want the fallout that comes from creating that accountability. They have a vested interest in maintaining the relationship, not so much in helping you reach your goal. And for that other person, that coworker or friend, if they're struggling, right, and you're struggling, there's no incentive for them to jar you to be accountable for what you said you're going to do, because they're struggling too, right? So what often happens when we use friends or family members, coworkers as accountability partners, it only lasts for a short period of time because there's fallout, okay? So what is your most effective option for creating accountability? It's getting someone who absolutely, completely, and totally doesn't really know you, doesn't interact with you on a daily basis. Why is this effective? Because they have nothing to lose. They don't have the vested interest in maintaining the personal relationship. Their role, their sole job is to keep you focused on your goal, to help you brainstorm how to get past the obstacles instead of giving into the obstacles. And if you have a great accountability partner, they're going to help you shift your thinking, because that is often the problem, right? In our mind, we have a reason for not doing it. And it's a good reason for not doing it, right? And this good accountability, external accountability partner is going to challenge those reasons, is going to remind you of the decision that you made, the plan that has been put together, and how you can be successful despite what that voice in your head says. So I want to challenge you today, as your homework assignment, to be honest with yourself. Are you holding yourself back from getting unstuck because you're not willing to be held accountable? And know that the fear that you have of being exposed, of not doing what you need to do and then being embarrassed, because that's often what's associated with accountability, that all that thought is doing is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you from moving forward and actually making progress, because accountability is actually the fastest path to results. If we're honest, if we were going to do it on our own without the external accountability, we would have already done it, right? So can I tell you something? I have two coaches, and one of them, I love their program, but I'm not even able to attend all the calls. I'm not able to keep up with all the information that comes out of the group. But do you know why I continue to maintain that coaching relationship? Because we have a routine, and that routine says that every Sunday I send a note. And the note is really simple. These are the actions that I took this week, and here are the actions that I intend to take next week. Because we have a relationship, but we don't know each other. We don't see each other every day. And she's not afraid to call me out and ask me about things that I put on my list that didn't get done. It challenges me to let go of excuses and move forward and get results. And I can honestly tell you, I wouldn't be who I am today. 265 Point wouldn't even exist without the external accountability partners that called me on the reasons that I had for not getting it done. And I'm willing to bet you the same is true for you. You have been running from accountability, and it's actually the thing that's going to get you results. So I want you to face your fears, and I want you to step up and find someone. I'd love to be your accountability partner, but if you know we're not a good fit, cool. Find someone to hold you accountable. And all that means is being answerable. That you have to answer the question, hey, what's going on with your goals and how can I help you? All right. So this is step 3, but we're not done. Tomorrow, I'll be back with step 4 in the process, and I'll see you then. Have a terrific Thursday. God bless.